Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop, howdy! Today we have plum. This comes to us from Nate at Mr. Nate's Woodshop. He calls it naturally spalted, and I'm not sure what that means. I think it means that it spalts while it's living, standing as a tree, but I don't know that. But what I do know is, wow, does it have some cool grain, and we're going to get a look at it. The piece is about 8 by 8 by 4. You can see some cracks in there. That's very normal for a plum. I've never seen any that didn't crack, but it also seems to hold together quite well, although I'm not sure about that one, only because it's close to this edge here. But I think it comes to a stop right about here, somewhere right in there, so it's probably okay. However, I'm going to be cutting away a lot of that. That's going to be the bottom, and I'm going to cut away a lot of that to get rid of that part right there. I just cut this in half, and I was trying to cut it on that line where the crack is. You can clearly see that I missed it. However, on this end, I clearly got it. So it's just the way it goes. Oh yeah, the grain. Let me show you. This is the other half of that piece. And if you look there, you get an idea what that grain looks like. Kind of looks like lace wood. I hope that's coming through. It's quite delicate, it's quite lovely. So hopefully we're gonna see a lot of that inside here, and I'll save this piece for another day. So this is gonna be the top of our piece today. I'm going to go over here and drill a hole for the woodworm screw right in the middle of this piece. I'm gonna take it to the lathe, get it mounted up, and we're gonna get to turning this naturally spalted plum from Nate's Woodshop. I have the piece mounted up on the woodworm screw with tailstock support. We're going to be turning at 580 RPM. I have my tool rest set at about a 45-degree angle because I want to work on this corner first, and I'm going to approach from the top side down in an effort to keep the bark on rather than going this way and lifting it right off of there. A lot of folks are going to wonder, well, why didn't you cut those corners off? Why didn't you round that up before you started? Well, you know, it adds, doing it this way adds about 5 minutes, a tiny bit more work, and it gives me the opportunity to decide as I'm turning it what this is going to look like. How round are these corners going to be? If they're going to be round at all. Maybe they're going to be straight. I don't know. But I do know that if I cut them off first, they're going to be round. Maybe they're going to be too round if I do that. I don't know. So I'd rather just work it this way. It's hardly any more work. It's just no big deal. 580 RPM, 5/8" bowl gouge, mask and face shield on, of course. You always want to stop turning and take a look at what you have to know where you want to, how far you want to keep going, or if you want to keep going. So stop often and take a look. It's going to be beautiful though. I think we can see that. Beautiful color, beautiful grain. I just hope the bark will stay on for us. I'm going to switch from my long 5/8" bowl gouge to my original short 5/8" bowl gouge because it's sharper. Well, I'm having to cut away more than I thought I would, which is a shame. We're just about done with that part, and this crack is getting much smaller now. But the grain is still quite gorgeous, so we'll live with it. I'm gonna see if I can pick the speed up any. Oh yeah. Oh, much better. Much better. Yeah, there's 1,000 RPM. Much smoother cut. That crack is very small now. We just have a little bit of rot right there. Well, we're just about round, or rounded ends anyway. I think it's still going to be kind of an oval. But I got to go sharpen both of my gouges. I'll be right back. Well, I'm all sharpened up. I want to work on the bottom here, get it flattened off, get a tenon on here, and then go back to the side profile and smooth it out and fix it up. It's going to be quite beautiful, don't you agree? Look at that. Well, you can't really tell yet because the cuts are so rough, but I can tell. We're going to be turning at 1100 RPM with a freshly sharpened 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield still on. We're right to the edge of that crack, but it represents no harm whatsoever. I kind of like it, so I'm going to leave it. We've got a little bit of bad wood right here. Some of it will get cleaned up when we do the side. Some of it might remain. Same right here. So let's lay out for the tenon. And for that I just like to use my live center. Just makes it quick and easy. Just lay my pencil on the live center and spin the wood around. There we go. Then I just want to switch to this diamond point tool to square up the sides of the tenon. And I need to raise my tool rest a little bit for that because it's such a thin tool. And that's good. Then we'll just move back over here and finish up the side. And we might as well keep our tailstock support while we can, huh? Looks good to me. Time for sanding. I'm going to start the sanding with my Sandoflex. This is 120 grit. And I'll use this and then I'll use 180 and that's as fine as I'll go. And I'm going to use this just for this top edge, about an inch or so up on the bark, just so that when I'm putting finish on, sanding sealer and finish, I can roll it over the side here a little bit and don't have to worry about it from the top side. So I'll do that, and when I'm done with that I will switch to my 2-inch disc starting at 80 grit and working up through 400 and sand all of the turn parts, and I'll show you what those two things look like as soon as I get my mask on. So I'll do more of that, of course, and then I'll follow it up with 180. But that's what it looks like. Then with the lathe spinning in reverse at about 350, and then alternating with forward. And that'll clean it up and get it ready for some sanding sealer, I'm pretty sure. And then shellac. So I'll bring you back here in a little bit when we're ready to put some sanding sealer on there. See you in a bit. Now you're going to see some imperfections in this wood. That's intentional. Most of my regular viewers probably know that I do that on purpose. I don't try and hide things like this. That was there. That's part of the nature of this particular piece of wood. What I like is to polish up everything else, you know, and then those things make this look even better. But they're just part of the history of this piece of wood. And they're not, they may look rough, that might look rough, but it's not. It's just as smooth as the rest of it from sanding, and the rest of it is quite smooth. Boy, that's pretty grain. I guess I should have looked up natural spalting. I don't know if that's Nate's own term or if that's a real descriptor for some types of wood. I don't know. But if that's spalting rather than just the grain, I don't know. But it's beautiful. It's very delicate, don't you think? Looks like a doily. A doily. How long since you said doily? My mom used to have doilies all over the house. Like a lace doily. I think she even used to make doilies. Of course she did. So this is sanding sealer, shellac-based sanding sealer. I'm going to put on 2 coats of that and then 2 coats of shellac, and I will bring you back when it's time to start working on the inside. That's going to be fun. See you in a bit. I have the piece turned around with the tenon mounted up in the chuck. We're going to be turning at 700 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge mask, and face shield on. Uh-oh. There went a big piece of bark. Uh-oh. 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 There's been a little bug activity in there, hasn't there? I'm not sure there's enough there to glue down, but maybe. Boy, it'd be ugly without it. Alright, I'm going to, I think I'm going to glue this back on if I have it all. I don't think I have it all. Let me look around here. I'll be back. Well, this is a really tough decision for me, and for my regular viewers, you know that. I'm going to take all the bark off. I'm going to take it clear down to here. We're going to lose about an inch, maybe a little bit more in height on this piece. More importantly, maybe we're going to lose the sapwood, the contrast between the heartwood and the sapwood, because by the time I do that, well, there might be a little bit of sapwood left, only on these 2 lower sides, not up here. That's a real shame, and it just kills me to do it. It just kills me. I love the contrast of the grain against the dark bark, but what can you do? There just isn't enough wood here. I didn't realize how far gone that was. Okay, well, shoot, jeez. I don't think I've ever done this before. It's just gonna kill me. Alright, let me get my mask and face shield back on. Dang it. Here we go. Well, as pitiful as it is, time for sanding. I'm sanding with my 2-inch sanding disc starting at 120 grit. I'll work up through 400. I'm alternating between forward and reverse with the lathe spinning at about 350 RPM. I'll bring you back in just a little bit and we will put some sanding sealer on there. See you in a bit. Well, from a log to a live edge bowl to a little dish. What a disappointment. It does still have a couple of flaws in it, so that's something, but it isn't much. And it has beautiful grain. It's just not quite what I had in mind for this piece, is it? It's got this crack here. I put CA in it, so I don't think it's going to get any worse. And it's got a little tiny crack right here as well. That's what it looks like. That's the first coat of sanding sealer. I'll put on another coat of sanding sealer, 2 coats of shellac, and I'll bring you back in a bit and we'll take that tenon off. See you in a bit. I've got a block of wood mounted up in my chuck. I'm going to place a non-slip surface over that and put the bowl over that and bring up my tailstock. I still have that center hole there for reference, so I can just drive my live center into that. Then I'm going to bring up my tool rest, spin the piece up and see if it's running true, and it sure is. Apply a little pressure, turn the speed up to about 600 RPM. I'm going to use a 3/8 inch bowl gouge and commence to removing that tenon. I just want to check for clearance, and we have good clearance. I'm just making sure that this centerpiece is above where it's going to rest so that it'll set nice and flat on the table. I'm also going to adjust my tool rest a little higher and a little closer, and I'm going to turn the speed down to about 400 RPM and just keep working that away. Oh, I'm also switching to a 3/8 inch swept-back bowl gouge so that I can get in there closer. Now it's really quite small, so I'm going to turn the speed down to about 200 RPM, and I'm going to apply the bevel of the gouge against the bottom of the bowl. Right hand on the gouge, left hand on the switch, pressure towards the headstock, and when the little nub stops turning, we'll know we're through. Like that. Now I'll just take this over here to the workbench, sand that up, sign it, get it finished, and I'll be right back. Be sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can see the before and after shots of this piece. I am quite sure they're very dramatic. We started out with a log, and then we had a half log, then we had a live edge bowl, and now we got a little dish. I don't know what to tell you. It's just one of those things. The piece was just a little further gone than I thought it was. Well, here it is. One plum dish in the books. It still has some cool features I'm going to show you here, and that grain is one of them. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And I did get, I would venture to say, a perfect finish on here. The finish. Not much else, but the finish is it's just perfect. What I really like, of course, is that kind of stuff. That was inside the wood. Inside, you know, we turned down to that. That wasn't out here where the wood used to be. You know, it wasn't 2 inches out or 3 inches out, whatever. That was inside the wood. Inside. How'd that happen? Same over here. How'd that happen? Inside the wood. I don't know. It's not bug damage. It's like a dent, a bruise, a tear. It's just it's damage. And why would I want to turn that away? I would not. I wouldn't turn that away. To me, that's the saving grace of this particular piece. There's the bottom all finished up. I did put a beveled edge on there, which I learned from my buddy Dave at Calmwood Creations. He does that on a lot of his bowls, and it does add a little something, I think. There's a crack in the piece right here, but as I said, I put CA in there and it's not going anywhere. It's good. The whole thing is good. It's just not what I set out to turn, is it? It's not what I normally turn. But it's nice. And yes, midway through, I did see the spire sticking up out of the middle, and I was thinking, same as you were thinking, ring dish, Phil. Leave that center post there, and a lady can use this for her rings. But I just thought the whole piece was too big for that. You know, most ring dishes are 2/3 this size. But I could have, I guess. I was just, at that point in time, I was just aggravated that I was making a dish at all instead of a live edge bowl. But yeah, I thought about you ladies, sorry. Thank you, Nate, from Mr. Nate's Wood Shop, for providing this plum for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please, I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about one a week, and I'd like to keep in touch. An easy way to subscribe is just click my picture you see there near the end of the video. Your comments are always welcome, and I love reading them. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.